How's it going? This is Corbett Mower Repair. We've got in today a Stihl 029 that needs a carburetor replaced, just the fuel system going through, fuel line replaced. So we're going to do that today. Keep in mind that the same carburetor that fits the 029 also fits the 290. So if you're trying to order this on Amazon or eBay or whatever, if it says 290, don't worry about that. It's the same carburetor. It just needs to look like this. So we're going to start off taking our air filter. All right, got my air filter off. Next, I'm going to remove my throttle linkage here. All you want to do is push your trigger forward, take your flat head, and just pop that bar right out of there. All right, and once you pop that out, you'll notice you can just rotate that, and then your trigger bar will come right out. Next, I'm going to remove these two 8mm nuts. All right, once you get your two nuts off, the carburetor will slide off. The only thing that's going to be holding it is your fuel line there, right there, and then your impulse line that's under there. So you may have to put you a flat head behind it here and just give it a little encouragement. All right, when you get this far, make sure you inspect your impulse hose. This one's still very good and pliable. If yours is cracked or broken, you'll need to replace that. And that comes with the kit, but this one is still really good. It's probably, I think it's been replaced at some point. But while we're here, we're definitely going to replace the fuel line. This one's kind of hard, and so all you want to do is go inside, take your fuel filter off, and then get you some pliers, and this will pull right out. All right, once you get your fuel filter off, all you want to do is grab it from there, and then it'll come on out. Let me set you down for just a second. And there it is. Let me get the new one. All right, so here's our new one, and when you put it in there, you want it to be oriented like this, and all you want is this lip here. You want that to get down in the tank. Maybe spray you a little WD-40 on it to help it go in smooth. I haven't pushed it down in there yet, but I was going to show you the reason why you want it oriented in that direction, like that. If you have it oriented like that, where your little tab is facing you on the inside of your tank, you see where your fuel filter is going to be sitting, down there in that pocket. All right, we got our fuel line grommet down in there, and then reach in there and grab your hose and put your filter back on it. And it'll look a little something like that. You just want it at the bottom of the tank, that way it's in the fuel all the time. Before you reinstall your carburetor, you want to inspect this. Make sure that this is not torn. This is what's going to seal your carburetor to your intake. And make sure that this ring is in there. A lot of times somebody will have been in here before you, and they'll lose this ring out of there. And if you do that, your intake boot will collapse and you'll have an intake leak. So now we're going to slide our carburetor on, put our fuel line on, and bolt it down. So something you may run into, somebody has been into this saw before, and what they did was, this is the new style air filter. All right, the old style doesn't have this port. All right, so they were running it with this flat plate, which is, if you're going to run this air filter, you're supposed to have that, and then there's a boot. When it bolts up, there's a boot that connects this to that. The way they were running it, they were sucking in unfiltered air. So what I'm going to do, since I don't have the boot, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this plate onto the new carburetor, and then I'm going to block off this opening. That way it's not sucking unfiltered air. So I'm going to swap these plates over and then put the carburetor on. All right, so there's my new carburetor. Here's my old plate. This can only go on one way, and it'll be like this. If you flip it around the other way, your holes will not line up. So I'm going to put those screws in and then mount the carburetor. All right, and I took some air filter material and have this blocked off now. Not blocked off, but it will not be sucking in unfiltered air, so we're going to be good on that. All right, now we got our carburetor bolted up, impulse line on, fuel line on. Now we just want to put our trigger bar on, and all you want to do, this is not easy to do one-handed, just roll it into that hole like so, twist it around, and then open your trigger back up, and then that'll pop back down in that slot. And that's how you do it. I hope this helped. Hope you have a blessed day.